Well, hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to my world. You're listening to Talk to Leadership with Cedrick. You know, everybody needs a little TLC. And I am Cedrick LaFleur, your host, and I'm excited to be here with you tonight. You know, Talk Leadership with Cedrick is where we focus on leadership, personal growth, with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. Now, you know, our guiding leadership principle is the law of contribution, which says growing yourself enables you to grow others. You see, you can't give what you don't have. So first, you must grow yourself in order to grow others. Now, we believe that outstanding leaders like yourself will help us to help others. So tonight on International Women's Day, we have an outstanding guest with us tonight. And our guest is Miss Kasfia Rashid, also known as Cash, the bookkeeper. Cash Rashid is her mission is to repair the gap between small business owners and their bookkeeping processes. Her boutique accounting firm is located in Richmond, Virginia. She offers accounting coaching, bookkeeping process implementation, automation, and maintenance services for frustrated business owners. Cash grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and is a proud only child of a single mother who immigrated from Bangladesh. Her accounting career started at the young, tender age of 8 years old. Get this, folks, when she discovered that someone was skimming from her piggy bank. That's funny. After a careful audit of her records kept in her pink book, she confronted her mother about the missing funds. Now, 8 years old.
I mean, I didn't say I was smart, just clever.
Okay. In 2003, 12 years later, she finally was allowed out again, and she started working in Manhattan in a Manhattan CPA firm, earning her degree in accounting with a double major in finance and economics. So tonight, folks, if you want to know anything about money, finances, we have the right person. So her corporate career ended in the hedge fund industry in 2014. She is a QuickBooks Online certified pro and an Excel wizard and automation expert. See, when she is not managing her business and she's just out doing her thing, she enjoys, she's managing small business books and records. She can be found also at BNI meetings and at her Wimby events, and also on her international talk radio at ibgr.network, also known as Profit Radio. Cash says her why is women-owned businesses are growing and outpacing male-owned businesses. However, financial literacy and confidence tailored to the way women communicate is scarce in the market. This is a major roadblock to growing a healthy, sustainable life. She wants to help you take back control of your business and leave the bookkeeping to her. She says she is no average bookkeeper. So let's welcome Miss Kasfia to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Cedrick. And call me Cash, please. My mom does. So unless I'm in trouble.
Okay. That's the mom's name for you?
Yeah, my mom calls me Cash. Promise.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, so I'm excited for you to be here with us tonight. You know, Cash, this month, the month of March, is what we call Money March Madness. So all of our guests on the show, we're talking, they're in the finance area or industry, if you will. And so that's why I'm excited to have you here tonight to help our audience better understand, small business owners better understand bookkeeping and maybe even some economics and everything finance from Cash. So welcome to the show. I'm excited. Let's just dive right in.
Sure. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm going to have a lot of fun. Actually caught your interview. I believe it was from last week, the credit repair
Yes.
Amazing business, and really, really needed in the market. I mean, that's kind of where everything number related starts. So was very encouraged to see another, woman entrepreneur out there talking finance stuff. So very
Yes. Miss
happy.
Carrie Goodley was on the show last night talking about it. And tomorrow night, we have another young lady, Nefertaria, is going to be on the show talking about a different aspect of finance. So,
So see, women-owned businesses are skyrocketing.
look at that. And I am having them all right here on Talk Leadership with Cedrick.
And I bet you love it.
Absolutely. Everybody needs a little TLC.
Can't get better than that.
Exactly. So, tell us a little bit about your business. I talked a little bit about you, but tell us a little bit about your business and how'd you get started, rather.
Oh, how I started, rather. Okay. That's a bit different than what my business is. So which one would you like first?
Well, just tell us about your business.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Ultimately, numbers are categorically something that most business owners don't want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to talk about it. And it is my job to help them talk about it in a safe place. So it's great, if we can get all of the numbers together and put them on a couple of pieces of paper. Woohoo! But that is not what we do here. That's just kind of where we start.
Right.
Once we have a whole bunch of numbers, though, then we can have conversations based on those numbers. And it's my job to lead those conversations, to start them, and to have them with my clients, make sure that they understand not just what the numbers are, but what they actually mean. So that's what my business is.
Awesome. Well, understanding what the business is, what their needs are, is definitely important. So the name of your business is?
Kasfia's Accounting Services House. Cash.
Love it. How you...
and the 4 pillars are knowledge, abilities, skills, and habits. So we really took this whole cash thing as far as we could take it.
I can tell.
Yeah, we tried.
One of my good friends, she may tune in sometime tonight, Robin Butler, is all about the, what do they call them? I always say acrylics, but it's not that. Acoustics. Acoustics. Yeah. She is all into that. So she's going to like that. Awesome. So then now tell us, why did you start your business?
Oh gosh, I've been an accountant since I was 8. I'm not really, I shouldn't do anything else, but kind of stay there. I love it. It's just so much fun. And I never understood that I could change so many people's lives by just doing what was really fun for me. Because in corporate, you're not allowed to. You're like really not allowed to change people's lives, like at all. So when I was fired for being pregnant, it just opened up a really great opportunity. And it was my mom who was like, hey, you have an ultimatum here. Either you go back for your CPA, which was never going to happen, or you open your business. And I was like, well, there's probably more success in opening my own business. So I did.
Wow. Well, so initially I thought when you said your mom, when you interjected, I thought you sort of said that your mom was the one that fired you. I was like, whoa, that's bold.
Oh, no, she had a clear understanding of where my strengths were at a very early age. She is a serial entrepreneur herself.
Okay.
Serial. I mean, like, her whole life, it was a series of entrepreneurial endeavors. To this day, she is still an entrepreneur today. So I learned early on that I never, ever wanted to be an entrepreneur. Ever.
Wow. I was actually going to say, wow, well, that opens up a whole nother question. And since you saw your mom as an entrepreneur, did that motivate you or inspire you to become an entrepreneur yourself?
No, it inspired me to go into the most stable, job security worthy thing that I could find. And then be really, really, really good at it.
Okay. And why did it turn you off? Entrepreneurship, rather.
Because it's so hard. Oh my goodness, I have never seen a woman work. I've never seen anybody work that hard. And I've never seen anybody work that hard again. So as I'm walking around the corporate world, I'm like, oh, this is cush. This is nice. 90,000 and liquid lunches, sign me up, right? Like, this is great. Why would anybody do anything different? And so, yeah, no. So, but when she saw the opportunity, because she's always seen it in me, because she knows that I'm her daughter, right? So she's always seen that little spark. And when she had an opportunity to kind of light the fire, man, did she.
Pour gas on it.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. Yes, she like poured an entire gas station on it.
Wow. So then, all right. So because of all of the, I guess, growing pains she might have gone through and the things you saw, it kind of turned you off and said, hey, I want to go into corporate. So then you get to the point where they decided that you'd be best for you to go work somewhere else.
No, they did not decide that. They decided I shouldn't work there. That's what they decided.
So then, besides your mom encouraging you, what made you decide, you know what, I'm not going to even go back into corporate anymore. I'm just going to open my own business?
My son came out way cuter than a child should have.
Okay.
I am an only child, so I've never had like experiences with children or with other children, right? And so when my son came along, it was the plan in my head was, okay, cool, I'll have this baby, like knock out 6 months, like 6 weeks of maternity leave, and I'll be right back into it. Like, it'll be all right. We'll get some nannies. I don't know. We'll have figured it out, right? Yeah. And within like maybe 3.5 seconds, that entire plan just flew right out the window, and it was never seen again.
Wow.
It was gone. And my mom was like, okay, well, here's your next plan. And I just listened to her. She's never wrong about things, so you just do what they tell you to do, and everything comes out perfect. And then you just continue.
Wow. So then, all right. So then you open up your business and never look back at corporate again.
Never. No, I am now, I think, certifiably unemployable is my title. Certifiably unemployable. Nobody would want that.
Okay. All right. So then I was going to ask you, what keeps you in the financial services industry?
Yeah. Dude, my name's Cash. Like, there's like, I have like a few options in life, and this is the one I chose for tax.
I like that. I want to put that in the Facebook comments. My name's Cash.
What else am I? Come on. All the ladies know what I'm talking about. So long story short, the truth is I really do love accounting. I do. And it's something that not only comes really easily to me, but I'm now addicted to making people feel better. I'm addicted to it now. So every client that comes in through the door is like, "Ooh, how can I make your day better? Ooh, how can I make your life better? Ooh, how can I make your, business better?" And I'm never going to get that sitting behind a desk again. I'm just not. And I'm not, I don't want to give that up. I mean, I've been doing this for about 6 years, so I'm still pretty new, and clearly you're still really excited.
Yeah. So you have the entrepreneurial bug, right?
I do. Oh yes, I've been super bitten.
Okay. All right. So then again, mom's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Oh yeah. And every time someone asks me like, how did you start this? I'm like, oh, it's my mother's fault. It's all her. Because I wouldn't have. And she said, it's okay. You don't need anything. Because I didn't have anything. So no cards, no clients, no understanding of how to get clients. Like, how do you do that? Because apparently, and I don't know if you've tried this, Cedric, you might want to.
Okay.
Just go on people's doors and just like knock on their doors and it's like, hey, give me your financial statements. Let me see your bank account. They're like, no. They're just like, no. And they just shut the door. So it was very much like a complete leap of faith. And I just like, well, you know what? If I fail, I fail.
Yeah.
Well,
The other thing is, what if you're successful at it, right?
right. Then I get to stay home with my kid all the time, which is what I do now.
Awesome.
So
Awesome. So you also have a radio show on IBGR Network on your weekly show. So tell us a little bit about the focus of your show, the name of your show, and why do you decide to do that?
all right, I'm going to work backwards.
Okay.
On that order. I decided to do that because Donna Cundy asked me, and whatever Donna Cundy asks me to do, I just instantly say yes. Because again, that's just a good idea. It's just a good idea.
Okay.
And really and truly, that was how it started. And then when I kind of understood what was going on, at first it was like, all right, I'm going to be here for Donna because it's Donna, and we're going to be here for Donna, right? And if we can help Donna, we're going to help Donna. But then once I got into it, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This is something different. This is not just helping Donna. This is a way for me to help people that I could probably never be able to help in places that I'd probably never be able to help them in. So it very, very quickly became a part of the mission, right? So not just women here, because yes, of course, entrepreneurs here in the US, women owned, are skyrocketing, but it's all over the world. And that opportunity was too hard to pass up.
Awesome. So you're enjoying the show then?
I am. I've signed on for season 5.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. And the show's name is Money Matters. The accounting show with no numbers. So that's a little subtitle.
Money Matters, the accounting show with no numbers. Okay.
No numbers. And I've actually gotten pretty good. So we're almost done with the second season of second season of Money Matters. And Bill will, back me up on this. I haven't used numbers yet. So we're up to 20 episodes of accounting basics explained with no numbers.
Wow. And if you want to catch Cash on her show, you can just see the link in the comments and you can
it's on Mondays at noon. So just as you're getting out of bed, you can listen to me.
Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, sorry, Eastern.
Yes, is her time. So for you Central folks, that is 11 a.m. on Mondays. Listen to Cash, Money Matters podcast. So, Cash, in the world of, in the financial space, financial literacy is one of those things that it should be important to everyone, right? And why do you think that? And I know you don't necessarily teach financial literacy, but just in general, why do you think that people just overlook that, or it's not a focus? Like people focus on, there's concert coming up, so they focus on that. There's some other event coming up, so they focus on that. There is all these other things, but finance touches everything that we do, whether it's in your personal life, right? I see the fur you have there on your chair. You needed some money to buy that, right? If you're an entrepreneur, yeah, exactly. If you're an entrepreneur, it's even more important. So why do you think people just don't pay attention to financial literacy as much?
Okay, I'm going to turn that around on you.
Okay.
Why do you think people don't pay attention to it? So where did we get that people don't pay attention to it?
Oh, because the data shows it. 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck.
Aha.
So that tells me right there, 67% of Americans retire into poverty. So what does that mean, Cass? That means that you've worked 30 or 40 years
Mhm.
and then you retire broke.
Yes.
So that tells me that people are not paying attention to it.
Okay.
So I guess, my question is,
I'd love to give you an alternate view.
okay, give me
Completely
one.
different view.
Sure,
Completely
absolutely.
different view, right?
Yes.
Which is that we have been taught financial literacy incorrectly. So it's not maybe necessarily that we're not paying attention or people aren't paying attention. They are, but they haven't been given an alternative. So in my corporate, and trust me, I signed up for this. Okay. I signed up for this like entire life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm going to work. I'm sorry, I'm going to earn a degree, right? So I'm going to spend like 5-6 years, right? Learning a craft. I'm then going to go into an internship, which is probably very low paying, maybe 2-3 years there. And then I am going to commit myself to like 30 years of hard labor.
Yeah.
Okay, because in the accounting world, like especially in the accounting world, there are 6 months out of the year that they actually put a chain on your ankle and just chain you to the desk. They just intravenously feed you. That's it. So you sign up for that when you go into like a big four, when you go into the bigger industries, you sign up for that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And inside of that, there's little pockets of hope, right? So there's your 401k, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
your HSA deduction, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
hey, they're already withholding money for taxes for me, ooh, and then there's that whole job security thing, right? So at the end of the day, if you follow every single thing in the path, though, you should be fine. And there's other things in that path that the people who are living paycheck to paycheck either didn't do on the front end or can't do on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying if you're going to follow this pattern to financial wealth, right, that we've been taught. But if you are taught something completely different, if you're taught that, hey, you know what, don't go to school, don't go to college. This is what you do. Right after you're done with high school, get whatever job you can get. Take 50% of whatever you get for the next 5 years, put it into an account, and then take that money and invest it into a piece of property that you can rent out, that you can live in half of the time or in one space and then rent out the rest that pays for itself. In 10 years, you're a completely different human being. But the problem is that you were taught incorrectly out here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck, but you don't know how to get out of that. So the poverty line in the US is very misconstrued. Very misconstrued, and it's misconstrued on purpose. We can get into that, but this is probably not the greatest place to do so. But long story short, the average, what's the average rent across the United States for a 1-bedroom apartment, Cedrick? What would you think?
Oh, I have no idea.
Just throw me a number.
Maybe it's $1,000, $1,500.
All right, 1,000. Let's say it's $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the poverty line in the United States of America? Bet you know that one.
I actually don't, but I'm sure it's pretty. You're talking about annual income, you mean? Yeah, it's somewhere in the 30,000, I think.
So if you look out onto the net, if you look at on Congress, like all these surveys and things like that, as far as the poverty line, it's actually less than $15,000 a year.
Okay.
Which means that if you are a single person making $15,000 a year and living in poverty, all you can do is hopefully pay your monthly rent. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. So that is wrong, right? That's not right. So if we actually increase that to a livable actual number, we include rent, we include living costs like utilities and food. God, food, right? Don't forget about insurance, because we have to pay for insurance now. Don't forget about withholding of taxes, right? Because that's included too. If you do all of that and you kind of make all of those increment changes, people can live into poverty all the way up to $50,000, $60,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have a really big problem.
Sure.
So I don't think that like people aren't paying attention to financial literacy. It's that making ends meet and just living just a normal life. Once you're on the path, it's just so hard to break out of it unless you do something not in that path, right? So unless you add a stream of income, a second or third or fourth stream of income, then you don't have any other path. So while financial literacy is super important, and I think it's really important for you to be able to read financial papers and your financial papers, if you're just following that same path, you have to follow a different path. You have to figure out a whole different plan for yourself. So doing that will help everybody. Just adding one stream of income, just one extra stream of income for every single paycheck earning human being out there would completely change the economic playing field.
Yes, I agree with you. So it sounds like you're saying people are intentional about adding that stream of income, then they, can change or have the ability then to change their economic outcomes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. So what makes you smile when you get up in the morning?
Not doing taxes.
No. Wait a minute. You're Cash the bookkeeper.
That's right. I am. Not Cash the CPA, not Cash the tax preparer, not Cash the payroll person. No, I really don't like taxes. Yeah. And kudos to all of our tax preparers out there. Mm-hmm. Thank you. So like, I can't thank you guys enough, because honestly, this is going to be a tough year for the finance industry in general. And the tax preparers, the CPAs, they're at the front lines. They're taking a lot of slack from all of the stuff that's happening because of the coronavirus and all of the loans that are coming down. It's interesting to see. It's like little accountants out there with their visors and their calculators in the front lines of the pandemic. So,
well, that's why I have my handy dandy that I've been using since they started TurboTax. I do my own, because it's crazy, but I do my own.
I don't even do my own taxes.
Oh, yeah.
It changes too often.
It does, but TurboTax handles it. You just answer questions and boom.
That's fine. And I'm good.
But I tell you what, though, I'm with you on the CPA part, because so when I first went to college, I wanted to be, my mom wanted me to be a CPA. And I said, okay, I'm going to be a CPA, until I took Accounting 101. And then I realized, no, you know what? I don't like that too much. That's not for me.
Why? What? Hurts my heart.
See, accounting needs to be easy. Accounting is just like the law profession. Mm-hmm. They've made it so that it's so difficult in terms of understanding things. All in the contract, wherefore thous, and who says that. Nobody understands that language. Just speaking regular English, right? But the lawyers set it up that way so that you have to go to them for it, right? Accountants are the exact same thing. See, you have a journal, a ledger, or this or that, and all this type of stuff. And here's the thing. It's either you added or you subtracted. So, I added $5 here. I took away $10 here. My balance is here, right? They have all of these different books. I never could get that straight. And I dropped that class and said, peace.
Understandable. And I think you're absolutely right. I mean, as far as just like the mechanics of accounting, liking it to the legal industry is absolutely right. Like, is there a lot of jargon in there? Absolutely, there's lots of jargon in there. And is it designed to confuse? Absolutely, it's designed to confuse. Absolutely it is. And that's where I come in. I try to make it like not scary so that you can just talk about it, because we can't have conversations like this if you're too scared to talk about your business.
Sure. So
Yeah.
when a client calls you, let me understand and help our audience. When a client calls you, they're calling you to come in to help them do what?
Mainly, it is to help them automate their bookkeeping processes and then further along to provide fractional CFO services, which means that we are actually looking at your numbers and comparing them and looking at the ratios and also looking out in the market. So I do a lot of research for a lot of my clients. That's something that you're not going to find on my website. But keeping up with all the PPP stuff, for example, that was a lot of work, right? But hey, my clients needed that information and they needed to make sure that if they were qualified, that they were getting it, if they were forgiven and all that stuff, right? And then there's just like the custom part where every single business is different. All business owners are different and everybody wants their business to go in a different direction. So when something happens in the business, a lot of the times, especially women, we don't have a place to go. We don't have someone to ask. Sometimes we don't have a partner or we don't have an active partner, someone who wants to be involved, right?
Yeah.
So if that's not there, and if we don't have friends and family who are in the entrepreneurial space, who understand what's going on. Earlier today, right before I jumped onto this call, one of my clients sent me an email. She was just being very clear. And she was like, yeah, I had a really hard day today. So I will get this to you when I can. And I was like, you know what? Don't worry about getting this to me. Let me call you up. So I did. I spoke to her on the phone for 45 minutes and talked to her about what was so hard today. What happened today? What are some of your challenges today? All right, let's focus. Let's make sure we're ending this call with a plan. And we ended the call with a plan. She felt a lot better and she's able to move. But I can give that information because I have all of the numbers. So I can say things like, oh, it's time for you to hire a virtual assistant. You can hire one and you can afford X amount of dollars a month for this. Let me help you find one.
Okay. So you're really helping them with, I won't say number crunching, but in terms of helping them identify areas where they maybe have some waste or some areas where they could, they have the ability to spend like on a virtual assistant or.
Yes. Well, we start off all the time with goals. So what's your goal? What do you want this to be? This particular client who called, when we spoke on the phone the very first time, I said, all right, what are your goals? What do you want this to be? She's like, I'm not really sure. And we ended the phone call with a $4 million valuation. So by the X amount of date, we want to be at $4 million. So now that we have that goal, we have steps. We can get there. And it's my job to make sure that those steps are being met and kind of figure out why they're not being met and what we can do to change it. So just advising things like, okay, you know what? It looks like we kind of took on a little bit too much debt. We're going to need a cash infusion. So the next 3 clients that you're going to bring on, you're going to ask them for 6 months in advance. Oh my God, but I don't want to do. That's what we're going to do now. And I'm going to hold you accountable to it. And for the clients who are, my clients are very cherry picked. Like they have a lot of trust in me and we build that trust together. And so when I say things like that, they're like, all right, she means it. That's kind of what we have to do.
Okay. So then your ideal client is?
My ideal client looks very much like me, sounds very much like me. So what does that mean? It means a small business owner, a woman-owned business owner who has dreams that are larger than her head, just like the biggest dreams ever. Last year, December, I walked over to my husband and I told him, I said, I don't know how, I don't know why, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but you are going to see me on the world stage in a year. And he's just like, what are you talking about? Well, how are you going to be on a world stage? What is a world stage? How does one do that? And I was like,
Well,
I don't know. And here I am, right, on an international radio show that is in 86% of the world.
Mhm.
Who thought that was going to happen? I don't know. And so it's my job to make sure that that happens for my clients. And we talk goals, and then we work towards how we get there. And we do so in hard numbers,
Okay. All right. So then let me make sure that if someone wanted to reach out to you, which is the best way to reach out to you? I have all your different links. Which
Everything is Cash the Bookkeeper. So the easiest way is really just to go on my website, because there's a contact me button. My email is
Oh, you know what? I don't have your website. That's the one I don't have.
It's www.cashthebookkeeper.com. We try to make it nice and simple.
Okay. All right. Because I'm going to put that in the comments and okay, perfect. I will. I'll post that here shortly, folks.
If anyone has any questions, I can't see any of the comments, but I'm happy to answer any of them. Unless they're PPP round 2 related, in which case you all have to wait for my live.
Well, so I'm going to paste this in the comments, and then I have some more questions for you. So
sure.
We're going to keep going, and we have a segment on the show that is called "Would You Rather."
Yes, I have seen this.
Yes. So now it's time to play Would You Rather. And folks who are watching, you answer this question as well, and you put yours in the comments. Okay. So here we go. This is perfect for you. Would you rather have more time or more money?
Oh, more time.
More time. All right. Would you rather know all the world's languages or speak with animals?
Speak with animals.
Speak with animals. All right, folks, you guys put your answer in the comments.
I can imagine what birds have to teach me. Like, they have so much to think, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Hummingbirds, especially.
Yeah, butterflies. Cheryl said she'd like to have more time as well. So would you rather, I can't imagine you want to do any of these alone, Cash, but would you rather go to dinner alone or go to a concert alone?
Oh, dinner alone.
Dinner alone? Okay.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you really want to do any of those.
Oh, I love having dinner by myself.
Oh,
I mean, I haven't in over 10 years. No, actually, that's not true. My husband actually took my son out and to visit his grandma, and I got to order pizza all by myself without asking anybody what the toppings were. I called my best friend and I was like, guess what I did today? And she was on the floor.
Oh my God, you are funny. The little things that make us happy when we become adults.
Really, truly, when we have so little.
Yeah. So would you rather fulfill your biggest wish or resolve your biggest regret?
Oh, my biggest wish would be to resolve my biggest regret. So it's one and the same.
Okay. All right. Would you rather own your own private island or your own private jet?
My own private island with a moat, an electric fence, and probably a lot of guard dogs. I really love privacy.
Okay. And your liquid courage.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that that's kind of like intravenous. I mean, we're like figuring out how to make coconut rum there, right? That's the factory.
All right, a couple more. So would you rather be a pirate or a ninja?
Oh, that's a good one. Pirate.
Pirate?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So would you rather have a camera as your eyes or a sound recorder as your ears?
Camera as my eyes.
Camera as your eyes. Okay. All right. Oh, Cheryl said biggest wish as well. 2 more. Would you rather have to drink all your beverages through a huge bucket or through a baby bottle?
I'm going to say baby bottle. Okay. Just because of our earlier conversation about liquid courage and my pretense to actually have to stay awake for
that's right. You are drinking through a big bucket right now.
Tea. It's called tea, Cedrick.
Yeah, T. That's right. Yeah, yeah, T. For the air.
Exactly.
So, would you rather have $1 million in Amazon gift cards or $100,000 in real money?
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with the million in Amazon because, Amazon has everything.
Yes.
And there's Amazon Warehouse. If you guys don't know what Amazon Warehouse is, find out because that stuff is amazing.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Tell us what Amazon
No.
Warehouse is,
Mm-mm.
because I want to know that.
No. No, it is one of my best kept little Amazon secrets. So Amazon, long story short, okay, they have a warehouse where they have a lot of discounted, especially tech toys. Okay. So if you're looking for a new laptop, maybe a new desktop, maybe you want like, something kind of like fancy, maybe it's like gift season, right? We definitely have purchased stuff on Amazon Warehouse. And if Chris Meekins is watching right now, I am sorry about that thing that happened with Amazon Warehouse.
So, folks, you guys just got a big scoop here. Amazon Warehouse. We're going to have to go and find this.
Super easy to find. Just go under the little hamburger and scroll all the way down. It's super, super, super hidden. And then it says Amazon Warehouse. And if you're using it and you're seeing this on here, reach out to Cedrick and thank him because it's because of Cedrick.
So you said under the hamburger. What hamburger? The
little 3 lines that are on the left-hand side.
Oh, you're talking about on Amazon?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. That's it. So look, folks, I'm getting a little education tonight too. I never knew it was called a hamburger.
I believe it's called a hamburger.
It could be. I just called it the 3 dashes.
Man, if I don't say certain things like this, then no one will be interested in listening. Gotta say stuff like that.
Thank you look at that, folks. I bring you guests who educate you on things.
If that's all you walk away with tonight, there you go. Yeah, hamburger and Amazon Warehouse.
Oh my God, you are hilarious. So if your client was sitting right here, let's say right behind you, your client walked through the wall.
Oh God.
And what would they say about you and your service?
Okay, so they all sign NDAs, so they're technically not able to say anything. Joking. This is a great. So I actually have. This is so embarrassing for me. Only because of our earlier conversation about me being a high S on our disc scales, right?
Yes.
But one of the things that a lot of my clients say, and one of my clients actually went out and gave me a Google review last week, and it started with, "Cash has saved my life and my business." Oh, and wow. The fact that I hear that so often from my clients, where there's like, I can actually give you like 4 or 5 of them that have said it. What's best than that, right? Like, how can you get better than that? So I think that's what they would say. And they would say that I have a really big, like a really, really short response time. They're all really impressed by like how quickly I can get back to them. So
that means that you just sit there and you just wait for them and boom.
All day. I'm constantly like, do you need something? Do you need something? Do you need something? All day. I have no idea why.
Oh my God, that is funny. Well, all right. So then, entrepreneurship is one of those things, Cash, that can be hard, right? And we're on International Women's Day, and there may be some women that are out there that are thinking that they want to start a business, but they are scared, right? What would you say to that woman that is, they want to do it, but they're scared to make that jump? What would you say to them?
Why? What happened? Why would you be so scared? Because as far as I understand it, like when I started my business, nobody tried to kill me. Like nobody at all. Nobody tried to take anything away from me at all. So I would ask them, like, what are they so scared of? And if they answer something like, oh, well, I don't know if it's going to work. Oh, I don't know. What if, what if, what if, what if? And then I'm going to tell them, yeah, you know what? You're right. Never mind. You know what? You're right. You don't want to actually start your own business. Because I'm going to tell you that next to having my son, this is the most hardest thing that I've ever gone through, ever. And I actually didn't like the birth of my son was actually quite easy. This is like the hardest thing that I have ever gone through. And if you don't have that passion behind either what you're doing or why you're doing it, and if you don't have like a complete understanding that this is something that you want to do, then you're going to either, if you're not going to fail today, then you're going to fail tomorrow. So one thing that I like to make sure about with my clients is constantly giving them that affirmation and that confirmation that, you know what, you're here and you're doing what you're supposed to do. And as long as you have that, as long as you keep that as your guiding light, then okay, you can do whatever you want and we'll just make it work. That's the other thing. If you think that you're going to fail, you're going to fail. But if you don't leave any room for failure, then you can't fail. It's just not an option. So just don't make it an option.
Wow. I like that. Just don't make it an option.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Is that difficult? Because it's just don't. No, like seriously, like just stop making it an option. Try it. Try it. Try it the next time you think that, you know, something's going to stop you. Just don't allow it to stop you and see how easy it is.
Wow. That's amazing that you say that. And, you know, because, you know, Cash, a lot of people are afraid to make that leap, take that jump and go to the next level. They know that they really need to do it. So like you, when you said, hey, when you first decided to leave corporate America, well, you know,
I was escorted out.
You was escorted out of corporate America. Hopefully it wasn't because you were, you know, well, you said you were pregnant, so never mind.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. But so yeah, they're afraid to make that leap and that jump, and not everybody has that mother that will be there to push them, give that little nudge that they need. So, but I like what you said. Just do it. Don't even make it an option to not try it.
Yeah, because I mean, as soon as you make it an option, then it happens. But if you don't make it an option, like nothing is ever considered a failure. And I think that's one of the things that keeps people from doing their accounting and doing their books and their records, because they feel like if they look at their numbers, that their numbers are somehow going to speak to them and say, aha, you are a failure or something. Like, I don't know if it's going to be in that accent, but like something, right? And like, I promise, like they don't, like they really don't.
Like that. Aha, you are a failure.
Yeah. And it's like, no, like that doesn't happen. If anything, your numbers are supposed to tell you like, hey, this is how much you've succeeded. And this is how much more we have to go to reach your level of success, the level of success that you have decided for yourself. And I don't think a lot of people do that, right? Especially women, because we have most of our entire lives, we have been told what success looks like and what we need to do to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
When we turn that around and say, well, let's put a mirror up and just kind of block everybody else out, what would you think is successful? And when you start to do that, like everything changes. Everything changes and your confidence goes up, and then your whole world changes, and then your whole business changes, and then you have no problem raising your rates to 3 times the amount that you had 2 months ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, okay, hey, if that's what we gotta do, we gotta do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So folks, see, this is why we bring people on the show who are smarter than I am. Cash said, I love it. I'm going to use this, Cash. I promise you I'm going to use it tonight in my group that I speak with after this show. Do not make it an option. Just do it, right? I absolutely love that. So first time I use it.
Thank you. That's more than I get now. You didn't even have to take it. It's okay. From me to you, Cedrick.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So tell us something interesting or fun about yourself.
Has this not like this has been 50 minutes? Was this not all interesting? No, I've come prepared. I have an interesting thing. Okay. So yes, liquid courage is my favorite thing, but I have another other love other than accounting, right?
So all my guests, make sure you have your liquid courage.
Gotta have your tea. Gotta have your tea. Every morning. No, moving on. So these are my fun little bracelets. Okay. And I've gotten a lot of compliments on these bracelets, and I absolutely love them. And they come from a brand of bourbon, I believe, or a brand of whiskey, which is called Basil Hayden. And I saw these on the bottle, and I just kind of started ripping them off, and then made little bracelets out of them, and now they appear pretty much.
So take the bracelet off again and put it up to the screen. I want to ask you a couple of questions.
Sure.
So the metal ring,
yeah,
that comes off the bottle.
It does. It certainly does. And actually, one of the other hosts on IBGR, Brandon, actually like text messaged me. He went out and he got a bottle of this. By the way, this is really, really yummy. But he got a bottle of this, and I think he's actually going to send me one to make it to a bracelet. So I'm pretty excited.
Oh wow! So then, do you have to? How did you get the H and the A on there?
So this whole thing is just like this. That's what's so fun about it. It's just around the bottle. And this is their brand, right? So this is like the B and the H for Basil and Hayden. Okay. And I didn't really even have to do anything because I have tiny little wrists. And I just like clip them on. And I love them. I think they're so much fun.
So you already, that's a whole revenue stream, Cash.
If I could park with them. Or if I could drink more, maybe.
So let me ask you this. So how many you have on right there?
God, I have no idea. I have no idea.
You see? That's my question right there.
Several?
Did you are all those bottles empty now?
Please the fifth on that one, Cedrick.
So
I know how to do my job.
I
told you you were gonna have fun. I know that much.
So, oh my God.
You're like, wow, she will probably never get any accounting done.
So I was going to ask you what's been the best thing that's happened to you this year, but I think I know.
I mean, it's March, like you haven't given, and it's tax season. So I guess like not doing tax it's probably the best thing that's happened. No, I mean, this has been an amazing year so far. Last year was crazy and amazing already. And the best thing that's happened to me this year so far was someone reached out to me and said, oh my God, your pricing page actually makes sense. I love it. And I've had that pricing page up there for like 3 years, and every other person has been confused.
Oh, wow.
Really confused. Like we would need to like walk them through like how all this works and what it was designed to do it themselves, right? Mm-hmm. And this particular woman was just like, hey, I love it. I know exactly what I want. Picked out her own package. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. And so it just really validated all the hard work that the marketing team has been doing in the back end. So I'm really happy with that.
Wow. Well, that's
I think
that's awesome.
Cheryl wants some of my bracelets. You can make your own. I'll teach you. It's just hot water.
Cheryl, she's going to do a class on Saturday mornings, I guess.
Yes.
Yes.
You have to drink the bottle the night before.
Okay.
We have the materials.
Well, you better give them 2 days because, if they drink it the night before, they may not be able to show up for the class.
It'll be taped. They'll get access. No, anyway. Sorry. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate it.
For young people, right? that are looking for career options. There are a lot of different things. What would you tell them as to a reason you have a double major in finance and economics?
I do.
And so why should they major in finance, economics, get the double major or whatever?
Sure. And this kind of goes back to your financial literacy question too.
Mm-hmm.
But long story short, this is a universal language. You don't need to know Chinese if you understand accounting. Sorry, that's incorrect. Nobody knows Chinese because Chinese isn't a language. My apologies, Shirley. Super apologies. She trained me for 35 years never to say that. Like really, truly. So like you don't need to know Mandarin, my apologies, or Cantonese, right? Or Spanish or Japanese. You don't need to know another language. You need to understand accounting because accounting is its own language. And if you can speak accounting, then you can speak the language of business. If you can speak the language of business, you can sit at every table. Imagine sitting at the same table as Grant Cardone and holding your own and being able to talk to him about your business, your numbers, and how you're going to turn $130,000 year into a $10 million year. That power you can't get outside of accounting. So if you wanted to make money, understand how money works.
Wow. I like that. If you want to, you said create power.
If you want to make money, you have to understand how it works. But yes, it does. It definitely creates power.
Yeah.
Because that's the only knowledge is power. And there's a reason that it isn't taught. There's a reason it's not taught to the masses. It's because it's private knowledge. Come get it though, because you can actually take accounting courses for free now. And the young adults now, they have so many opportunities. They don't need to go down the accounting path. You can take a couple of accounting courses.
Right.
And just familiarize yourself with that. And familiarize yourself with how to trade. What is Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin? People should know the answer to that.
Well, I don't think most people know the answer to Bitcoin yet.
They should. They should. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's the age of information. Just go on TikTok, put in cryptocurrency. You'll learn everything in a half hour.
Yeah. So last question for you.
Okay. I'm ready.
If there was a book that was written about you.
Oh, I'm not ready.
What would the title be? And what would the summary of the book say about you?
So I have actually thought about this and I am actually not ready. So some of the answers that have been provided, because I actually went out and asked my crew about all this, right? Because I asked my crew about pretty much everything. And so one of the answers was the angry bookkeeper.
Okay. Okay.
Why can't you just keep your receipts? Was the but more of a comedic thing, clearly, as ultimately, all we're really trying to do is just kind of that veil that you were talking about making it really hard to understand, making it inapproachable, making it something that, we have to go and get an expert from. Let's just make this a part of our dinner conversation.
Sure.
Let's start there. Let's start at the home, right? And so, unfortunately, I don't have like a clear answer on that. I'm still working on it, but it has given me a lot of things to think about. So I appreciate the question.
All right. And then what would the summary of the book say, though?
I mean, it would be more about like how the only reason that you're not making the money that you're supposed to be making right now is because you don't want to. That's it. If you wanted to, though, whoo, girl and boy and man and woman, I can make you guys so much money. Like making money is super, super, super easy. But the fear of making money will stop you every time.
Absolutely. Fear will bind you up. It'll kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Awesome. Well, I tell you what, Cash, this has been one amazing hour. You were nervous about coming on the show, or not nervous about it, but just like, oh, well, let me see. I
this is my first
absolutely
real
enjoyed.
interview with someone, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, I had a great time. Hopefully, you did as well. I wanted to learn some more about Cash and what you do. I definitely learned that. I learned all about Amazon Warehouse. I'm a big Amazon person.
You're going to be texting me later tonight. You're going to be like, look at this laptop. And
Yeah.
it's going to be a whole thing.
Yes, I will be. I love that Amazon Warehouse. So so I'm both the Amazon consumer and a big stockholder. So keep buying. Go to Amazon Warehouse and buy.
Absolutely.
So folks, we've been talking to Cash File tonight, and known as Cash the Bookkeeper. Her links are in the comments, so make sure that you reach out to her website. I'm going to post the website again in a comment so that you can go to her website. She can also be found on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn,
YouTube,
IBGR. Heck, she's just everywhere.
I try. Or at least they try. My marketing team is really, really committed.
Well, that is awesome. Now, I'm also going to download. She's going to provide you with a free bookkeeping checklist. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to put that in the comments as well. So you make sure that you download that. I'm going to put that here. Just give me a second. That is in the comments as well. So you can utilize that. And thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I definitely hope you got something from the show. You enjoyed Cash. I enjoyed her. If you didn't, I did by myself. So thank you. Thank you again for tuning in. Hey, folks, starting Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, I will be doing a 30-minute teaching in our Investing 101 class group, Facebook group. That's Investing 101, the steps to 1 million. We are have a lot of members that are part of that group right now. So if you want to be a part of that group, send me a message or have a friend invite you to be a part of that group. Thanks, Cheryl, for saying you enjoyed her. I appreciate that. Once a week, I'll be doing a teaching in that Facebook group. I'm also going to put that link in the chat so that just in case you're not a part of that group right now, you can. Remember, on this coming Saturday, we have Investing 101, the Steps to 1 Million Masterclass. So again, that class is always no charge to you. Once a month, we do the class. Tomorrow night, listen to Talk Leadership with Cedrick at 5:30 Central Time. We will have Ms. Nefertiria Clofus on tomorrow, Tuesday night at 6:30 Central Time on the Black Entrepreneurs Institute live show will be on the Empowered Living channel. Damian Johnson will be doing a mindset teaching. Wednesday, you can catch me at noon Central Time for Cut the Cord Lunch and Learn series with Cedrick and Joanna. On Thursdays at 2 p.m. Central Time, you can catch me on ibgr.network. And remember, folks, as I always tell you, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. Don't be on the menu. Thank you and good night.